Hey, this is Chad, owner of Tackle Express. I'm here with Logan.
What's up, guys? I'm Logan. I work down at the retail location and up here at the warehouse as well. And
he's going to Cedros.
Again.
He just got back from Cedros, what, a month ago?
About a month, yeah.
And I'm going with him. We're going again, and I've never been, but we're going in a couple weeks from now. And so I'm really curious on what Logan brought with him and why he brought it, and maybe stuff that he wished he'd have brought. So this is your bag you brought?
Yeah, let's get into it. So this is a 35-liter waterproof bag. It fits everything you need going down to Cedros, and what's nice is it keeps things compact.
It's nice that it's a backpack too.
Yeah, nice thing about it going on your back is now you have rods in one hand, CBX crossing paper, all the paperwork in the other, so it keeps things, you have options to do stuff still.
Gotcha. We don't carry this bag, but you got it on Amazon?
Amazon?
Okay.
Yeah, I got this guy on Amazon, but I do know Mustad, Calcutta, Grundens do make variants of this bag. You don't need any specific one, just 35 liters is about the size I'd be recommending to go down there with.
Okay, cool.
Let's move this guy back down here real quick. Nice thing about the bag is I was able to get a plano on top that kind of fit all the things I wanted to keep dry on the panga, hooks, trolling lures, soft plastics, everything like that. And then nice thing about this is your tackle, clothes, everything fits in the bag, which keeps things just very simple going down there with. This is the jig rig bucket, another thing we don't carry, but maybe in the future. All my fluoro, my mono is a little customization I made to the top. Yeah.
So how'd you do that? How'd you put that on there?
Let's open this guy real quick. Just a couple stainless steel nuts.
Oh, that's nice.
A wing nut on top.
Loosen it up and then take the line off. It just spins
Yeah,
off?
exactly. So say, I backlashed. I need new floor or mono. Unscrew that on top, and then you just hand wind it on, so it makes things.
That's cool.
You never have to take the spools off. Or a nice thing, I fish braid of short liters of fluoro probably 95% of the time. So unscrew, pull out 5-10 feet. Tighten it back up.
And these bands, these spool bands for leader spools are awesome.
They're awesome.
They've just got a little hole in them, and you can just peel off as much as you want, and the line doesn't go all over, especially when you have heavier line, 40, 50, 60, 80 pound line, it wants to just completely come off the spool. These are cool. I like those.
Makes things very easy for sure.
Yep.
Another reason why I went with the bucket going down there is you are fishing in pangas, so things do get a little wet at times.
Okay.
Nice thing about the bucket is it has holes underneath, so even if you could get a bunch of salt water on this, Toro's people wash your rods and all your tackle out after the trip when you get back to the resort. So you just open it, fresh water the inside, all your tackle gets rid of the salt water and it dries out by the next day. So I'm not really...
That's cool.
Yeah, it makes things very easy.
I want to bring these in. I really like it. I had never seen them before, so yeah.
I got them down at the PCS show when we were down there, and they're cool. It's awesome. Yeah. Nice. So now let's kind of talk about clothes.
So I've heard that it's a little tight on the plane, right? It's a smaller plane.
Yeah, so it's a 12-person plane. That is a reason why I packed going this route. Just keeps things compact. You're allowed 35, 40 pounds between your tackle and everything like that. Tackle, clothes. All that tackle plus the clothes we're about to show everyone is 28 pounds on the dot. I weighed it just last night to make sure I was in that nice sweet spot. I don't go crazy with my clothes just because I'd rather take home more fish.
Plus they wash your clothes.
I was gonna say, Toro, they do your laundry, so you're always gonna have clean clothes. Whether you pack light or you pack heavy, you'll have clean clothes no matter what.
Okay, cool. So what'd you bring?
Yeah. So obviously you're probably gonna be wearing jeans, deck boots going down there just to kind of save on space with the deck boots.
So you're wearing your deck boots so you don't have to pack.
Exactly. I pack a pair of sandals in here. That way, deck boots are just bulky.
Right. Makes sense.
Don't have a ton of room, so just wear them.
Right.
But yeah, pair of pants.
It was cold in the morning?
It was cold in the morning. Yeah, so we live in Santa Clarita, so driving to the CBX crossing, you got to be there at about 5:30, 6 o'clock. You want to be starting the walkthrough process in the CBX about 6, I would say. That way, by the time you do all the paperwork, you get over, you go down at You go through, you go down a set of stairs, and Toro's group waiting for you right there. They take your rods, they take your backpack, and from that point on, you are really not touching any of your gear. They load the plane for you.
Cool.
Last thing about the plane is it's tight, and the rods go down the middle, so we'll basically all get on the plane, and then you'll be handing through rods, hopefully not hitting anyone in the eye or the head, but it's...
So do you have the reels on the rods?
I keep all mine fully ready to go.
Okay.
You don't have to necessarily keep the line going through the guides and everything, but I do like the stick jacket covers. It just kind of keeps things protected a little bit as well.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, but let's keep diving in the clothes. So yeah, 2 sun shirts for sure. Fishing full days on pangas, it gets a little toasty down in the Baja for sure.
Okay.
I brought a long sleeve just for kind of hanging out the resort in case it gets cold at nighttime. And a normal short sleeve shirt. That's really all the shirts I brought, because you figure the clothes you're wearing plus just the shirts, you are
an easy pack.
Always going to have clean clothes no matter what.
Right.
I did bring a pair of sleeping shorts just so I'm always comfy, and a bathing suit. Last time when me and James were down there, so this is a cool thing about going with Toro. I call Toro the mayor of the island. I look down, I see these local kids tubing down there, and I go, hey Lenny, who's our hostess, super cool guy, I want to go do that. He says, hold on, Poppy. Makes a phone call. Sure enough, James, me, and one of our local cops end up tubing down in Cedros.
Tubing, you mean like pulled behind the panga?
Pulled behind the panga on a tube and everything.
That's cool.
So I don't,
that's fun.
Not too many people can say they've done something like that down there for sure. And then as far as jacket goes, waterproof jacket. I actually brought our Tackle Express one when we went down there. Just early mornings, it's the ocean, it's a little nippy.
Little dew and
once the sun comes up, starts drying things off, gets a little warmer to where you'll probably want to shed that halfway into the day or so.
And then when you take off in the morning, is it like a half-hour
ride,
or how far do you go?
First day we landed at about 11 o'clock, 10 or 8, 9, 10. We got to the resort by like 11:30. We were fishing by 11:55 and we're pulling on Yellowtail by 12. So 20 minutes out of the harbor.
Same day.
Yeah.
That's
and
awesome.
Later in the year, I've been told they're on the front side of the island. So the side we'll be staying on, to where I've heard it's a 5-minute drive to fish. There's fish all over the place to where it could be 5 minutes or it could be 10 minutes, 20.
That's cool.
It's epic.
Wait. That's awesome.
And then the last thing I would recommend bringing, especially going out in October, it might be just, you never know with weather, is a pair of bibs.
And those look like they're pretty light bibs.
These are the Salty Crew. They just came out with this pair at the beginning of the year.
Mine are all heavy, so I think I need a lighter pair.
I'm blanking on the nib, on the name. Luckily, we do carry these in the shop and on our website.
We also got those new AFCO pants in too. Okay.
These things are awesome just because they're lightweight, like you were saying. They keep you dry, and it keeps the wind and just that early morning coldness off of you. That way you're just ready to go, start casting as soon as you pull up on those fish, and you're comfy the whole time.
Nice.
And that's kind of everything I personally brought in my little backpack here.
Nice.
Yeah.
You fit a lot in there. So with regards to lures, I mean, I know they're yellowtail and they're calicos, and I fish yellowtail and calicos up here at the Channel Islands, but I'm assuming that it's probably a little bit different down at the island.
That island itself is very special, I would say. Just with the amount of fish there, you can fish stuff that you don't typically fish up in our home, let's say.
Okay. Like what?
So that, for example, when the bites just kind of, when you hear about Cedros, you hear about a wide open yellowtail bite. One of my personal favorite baits to fish down there was the triple trout.
Okay.
Just a three-piece hard bait.
What was the biggest yellowtail on it?
About 29 pounds,
no
personally.
Way.
Yeah.
Wow.
All of our fish down there were honestly 19 to, I think the biggest in our group was 33 pounds.
Wow,
so nothing outrageously big, but big enough to still make you think like, what am I hooked into?
30 pounders pull.
But yeah, when the bite's kind of just like how you hear about Cedros being, triple trout is definitely a bait. It's just a fun bait to fish. You don't always get to catch fish on those at home. So being able to get a limited yellowtail one day on that thing was epic.
I bet. Probably just change the hooks out, I bet.
I upgraded my hooks to owner ST66s just to be safe.
Right.
You're gonna be catching more than enough yellowtail on that thing to where I'd rather just have the stronger hook. That way nothing weird like that happens.
Yep. Some plastics?
Yeah, as far as plastics go, I've been fishing the Z-Man diesel minnows. It's a 7-inch bait. Nice thing about the Z-Mans is they have that elastoplastic, so you can pull them, you can bite them, you can do everything with them.
Yeah, they're not going to rip the tails off of these.
Nice about going down to Cedros, you are limited on weight, so just going with, I know I can get at least 5 calicos per one bait.
And what size head were you using on it?
That's a 1 ounce. I do have a couple rigged up with a 2 ounce in case we're fishing like that 60, 80 feet.
Did it matter the color?
Not really, but I will say something with a little chartreuse or that little bit of like mint chartreuse was kind of the standard, I would say. Kind of like what I'm going to talk about with the jigs, your mints, greens, blues, scrambled egg, or your go-tos at home.
Okay.
Same go-tos down there, but I was finding that a mint swirl or a mint surface iron was definitely outproducing. Like that's Salas 7X mint swirl. That was, I know I got a
mint
few fish on
mint
that.
Swirl, right, yep.
All your Colt snipers were nice. I was fishing more Colt snipers than actual yo-yo jigs myself, just because of the versatility of this lure. You can cast, splash, wind it, or you can cast, splash, hit bottom, and fish it just like a yo-yo jig. So it has a little bit more versatility to it, which is why I was using that guy there.
Did they eat one more than the other?
I will say, so our first day, it was kind of slower. They were more keyed in on the Colt sniper baits, your Salas 6X Juniors, so your smaller profile.
This is like a 100, so 100? Okay.
Yeah, the first full day, second full day, it was kind of, what do you want to catch a fish on, and throw it and they'll eat it.
Kind of experiment and see what.
Exactly.
You know. Sometimes it's fun, like they'll eat a lot of this stuff, but it'd just be fun to just try different stuff. Hey, I wonder if they'll eat that. I wonder if they'll eat triple trouts. I wonder if they'll eat the Colt sniper. It's just fun, like figuring out the puzzle and just trying different things.
Yeah, so I wanted to catch a yellowtail on a stick bait when I went down there. And I forced myself to cut off the triple trout, the Colt sniper, and I was like, I'm only going to fish this thing. Sure enough, 3-4 casts later, you're bendo on a fish. So if you want to catch a fish on something that you haven't caught it on, that's definitely the place to try it, for sure.
And that looks like a 15?
That is a SP Minnow 115, yes sir.
Okay.
That is the floating option as well. Yeah, floating option.
Probably wouldn't matter too much, right? Yeah.
I don't think it would matter.
Right. They make a floating and a sinking. That's why I asked.
But I would say, as long as you have 3-4 surface irons, 3-4 Colt snipers, a couple yo-yo jigs, a couple stick baits, and a couple packs of swim baits, you have all your calico fishing, yellowtail. You kind of have every avenue covered.
Okay.
Another big thing when you're down there is some big mackerel, as far as Toro does have a bait dock or a bait barge. So nice thing is, say you whack the yellowtail and you want to do some slow, just because you're tired, 4 or 5 yellowtail later, it does make your arms hurt a little bit. So say you're tired, you want to break, Toro does have mackerel that we could slow troll with. We were using a 5.0 ringed offshore hook by owner.
Okay.
They do have some sardines down there, so a 1.0, 3.0, 5.0 is the hook choices I brought. That way you can kind of match big baits, small baits, everything like that.
And they were choking it. You said that the mackerel were giant.
15-inch mackerel, we're getting, after you hook the fish, you can't even see the mackerel anymore because they were eating it.
And I heard that sometimes what they'll do is that they'll put out downriggers with like 2-pound max, and they'll slow troll them in 30 feet of water. And the buddy I talked to said they hooked 2 and never landed them. They were just giants. So there's big fish around.
Another big thing, we didn't do too much of it, but one of the full days we drank a little too many beers one day and needed an hour or so break, which it didn't really help us because the Rapala X Mag 30 in the Bonita color was definitely the hot trolling lure for our trip.
I'll bring some.
I did bring a 20 down there, but it was 5-to-1 as far as size goes. I was hand winding the 20 in when the 30 was getting dumped, and probably 2 out of 5 times on the hand wind in, you're getting smoked on the smaller size.
Okay.
So just having a couple extra trolling lures in case you need a break or something.
So when you got bit on the troll, were other guys chucking iron when you got bit on the troll to see?
Yeah, so that was the cool thing about troll fishing for the yellowtail is they school up. So troll rod goes off, one guy grabs the other troll rod, normally hand winds it in and gets bit. The third guy, it's 3 people panga down there, so the third guy toss a stick bait, Colt sniper, surface iron, and your chances of getting bit are pretty high, yeah. Right. And then just like your other last hookup baits are always a good go-to down there. Anywhere. 1.5 ounce, 2 ounce. I call these things the stupid tube. Yep. They get, as long as they're in the water, you have a good shot at catching a fish.
And was that on the bottom? Were you lifting it off the bottom or just straight wind, or how were you getting bit on it?
Yeah, so the third day we were fishing, the second full day, we were fishing up kind of tight to the beach, but the current was ripping to where 1.5 ounces, I was able to keep it in free spool and just kind of bounce it. Okay. And every time I bounced it, the current would pull it 5 or 10 feet further, and you were getting calicos every cast. Right. It was awesome. Okay. And then one of our local guys makes these bottom dweller swim baits, and I did get a couple fish on this guy down there. It's just nice to throw something, something different. Yep. Yeah. And you don't need too many torpedo weights, but there is halibut fishing, sea bass fishing, 3, 4, a 4 ounce, 6 ounce, 8 ounce. That's all you probably need.
Did you guys target calicos at all, or were you just going for yellows and picked up calicos?
Calicos were kind of our bycatch. Okay. We were jamming down the island, and I looked to my left. No, would have been coming home. So to my right, looking out the island, there was probably a 50-yard stretch of just calicos boiling. So I was like, hey, Chava. I was like, we gotta go. So he let us go about 15, 20 minutes of that, and it was kind of like the yellowtail fishing. Anything you wanted to catch a bass on, you could throw it and they'll eat it. Yeah.
Can't wait. Yeah. Very cool. So I'm curious, I don't know what to bring. I don't know if I should bring, a light setup or just a heavy setup or just iron setup. So what did you bring? What setups?
So I brought 4 setups when I went down there. We'll start with the light setup here. This was more of my bass fishing shallower water, stuff like that.
Would that be too small for the yellows that are down there?
No, Tranks 400. The rod's rated 15 to 30. Even though it's rated up to 30 pound, I was fishing a 40 pound leader just for more abrasion resistance in case you hook that yellowtail when bass fishing or something like that. Sure. But a setup like this is more than enough for all your bass fishing, your halibut fishing.
What size braid do you have on that one?
I have 50-pound braid. Okay. Roughly 300 yards, and on this guy here, I like 15 feet of fluoro. Okay. Just not a lot of stretch, but just that little bit to where you can pull a little harder than normal. Yeah, they're choking it. Nice. Okay. And yeah, if you hook a yellowtail all day long on this, no problem. And then for like my medium Colt sniper setup rod, I was fishing my Akuma Andros. And yeah, Andros 5. This is the narrow version. I'm a small little guy. I got small hands. So just one thumb kind of covers the whole spool to where I can I know it's a lever drag 2-speed. They're not a casting reel. But on a 20 to 50 pound Phoenix rod, 9 feet, I can cast this thing a century mile. Sure. Fishing your Colt snipers, even some of those Z-Man plastics I was fishing on this rod. Okay. And
plenty of line on that.
Plenty of line on this guy, no problem.
And what size line did you put on that one?
This was 65 pound. I was fishing a 60 pound fluoro leader. Okay. Just about 5 feet on this setup here. Okay. And I even dropped a couple yo-yo jigs on it. It did just fine. Like I said, it being a 2-speed, this was more of my drop my Colt snipers through the bottom, hook a bigger fish, pop it in, pull them out of the rocks real quick, pop it back into high, you're good to go.
So normally when I fish like my yo-yos and stuff, I fish a shorter rod. Do you need to cast the yo-yos? I mean, is there...
Not necessarily, but my biggest thing is they're not always straight underneath the boat, to where I'd rather get a little underhand. It doesn't even have to be an overhand cast, a little underhand pitch, just to cover that little bit more ground. I think you do that 10 casts in a row, that's an extra 100, let's call it 100 feet. Okay. I think it's beneficial, just covering a little bit more ground.
I'll probably still bring my 7-foot rod.
7-foot will do all day.
Just because you have more leverage on the fish, and I'm getting a little older now, so it won't hurt me as bad, but
Now, as far as jig sticks goes, you can kind of see I have an 8-foot.
Okay.
This is just a normal CalStar Trinidad 20. Same thing, 65-pound braid. I got close to 400 yards on this, so you don't have to worry about getting spooled.
Okay.
This also was my trolling outfit as well, just because it was easy. Clicker on, couple clicks off. That way you can troll. Yeah.
Sure.
Couple clicks off, and then when you get bit, go 2-3 clicks, turn off the clicker, and then you're on with the fish.
Makes
to
sense.
where just your typical jig stick. Torium, Trinidad's, that 20 size reel is kind of the size I like to fish.
We get a lot of questions on jig sticks too, and what are the deckhand rods. So this is a deckhand rod jig stick. So you have to have a reel clamp. There's no reel seat, so you can put that where you want it. So definitely gonna bring my jig stick on that.
And the Torium does come with a stock reel clamp, but I went with the DFP clamp.
Yeah,
it just adds a little bit more surface area to the rod.
Yep.
You don't need it, but it is just a nicer
More
look
secure
to it.
too.
Exactly.
Yeah, for sure.
And then the last setup I brought was a United Composite. This is a 9-foot, the 9E, with Alexa 500. This was a recent purchase right before I went down to Cedros, and it did awesome. So we're all not professionals. Even professionals will still backlash, say 1 out of 10 times, but this reel here, no backlashes, nothing. I was probably casting farther than everyone on the boat.
Nice, okay.
To where it just makes things, it has enough power to throw your surface irons, yo-yo jigs, hook that bigger fish, and be able to get it to the boat.
Which one is it, the HG or the?
This is the HL. I am left-handed to my bait casters, to where I like them left-handed. It's the 7-to-1 gear ratio.
Okay,
so it's that middle ground, so you could fish things slower, or you could speed up your handle and fish things a little quicker.
And you have more torque when you have a lower.
Exactly. Instead of going with the 8-to-1 to where I'd be getting dogged every now and then, having that little bit more torque is beneficial, I would say.
Now, what was your go-to setup out of all of these? Which one was like the one that
To be totally honest with you, this one right here.
It's got the level wind on it, so it's just easier to fish, especially with irons. You just have to turn the handle. You have to worry about your line management.
Yep.
So I could see.
It does have an external braking system as well,
Sure.
and your spool tensioner, so you can really, say you're fishing a surface iron, then you go to a 60-gram Colt Sniper, and it's like, oh, I backlashed. Let me dial it in a little bit, and
where you can't do that with a Torium or
any
a
of those
2-speed
conventional
reel.
reels.
Yeah, but with a low-profile bait caster, you have a lot more control in your casting, and like I said, it's got the level wind on it, so you don't have to worry about.
It makes things very easy. You cast it, you let it hit the water, you retrieve,
and there's plenty of power for the biggest yellowtail on there. Yeah.
I would feel comfortable if I did hook that 60 that's cruising around Cedros. This is a doable setup, even if you hook that bigger grade.
And what kind of line do you have on here, and how many yards?
This is Max Quattro. This is 80-pound max, so size of 65, and I got about 350 yards on this guy.
Okay.
I kind of loaded it. I like fishing braid to short leaders, floral leaders, I should say, to where there's actually 60-pound on it. So I'm not going to touch this, and we'll just tie up when we go down there and
good to go.
Yeah, start fishing.
All right. So I know bringing rods on the plane's a little tricky. So how did you bundle everything up, and how did you make sure everything was secure?
Yeah, so 4 rods. I don't think you need any less, any more. Just couple nice rods. Name of the game. We carry stick jackets at the shop, to where it's not going to protect the rods from snapping in half or something like that, but I like to personally go with my line already through the guides, to where throwing one of these over everything, it goes till about just the top of the deckhand on the rod, and that just keeps your guides, your line from getting nicked and everything like that.
Not getting tangled up.
Exactly. It keeps. That's the biggest thing. You bring 4 rods, now all your rods are looking tangled like that. Keeps things from getting tangled, your guides from getting damaged, and your line. Couple rod straps. I did put reel covers on all my reels. There's 10 people on the plane, 10, 12 people. That means 10, 12 bundles of rods. So your rods could be at the bottom, or they could be on top of the bundle, to where
they're stacked in the middle between.
So it's there's 2 rows and then an aisle down the middle. All your rods go pretty much everyone loads the plane. They already have the luggage underneath, and then the rods are the last thing in the plane. And they
James is telling me the best thing to do is to wait until everybody's stuff's in there, and then you can put yours on top.
Yep.
So now you're last on, first off.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I was lucky enough to be the last one on and the first one off. Yeah, I was that guy our last trip in July.
Okay, and then everybody else's stuff's not piled on top, and
made me feel a little better about my rods not being on the bottom too. But they're all safe. They're not. Nothing's gonna get hurt when you go down there.
Okay.
Nice thing about when you land, Toro's people are waiting for you at the airport. You get out of the plane. You're not touching any of your rods, or you're not touching anything that's yours. You're getting handed a cold Pacifico, or if beer's not your thing, Gatorade, water, Coke.
Sure.
They unload the plane for you. They load it in a truck. It's a 10-15 minute drive to the resort. Once you get to the resort, they have a full bar at the resort. So margaritas are ready. I was drinking a drink called a calicos. Excellent. I'm gonna get you that when we're down there.
All right.
Margaritas when you get there. Within 20 minutes, you're already unpacked, rigged up, and you're headed down to the marina to start fishing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can't wait. So are there things that you wish you had brought that you didn't bring? Or is this pretty much you were good to go with this, or you didn't need anything
Everything else? I brought, I used. Everything I brought, I used. I didn't feel nothing got unused when I was down there, so I think I hit everything
the right amount.
Pretty dialed in.
So you're gonna bring pretty much all the same stuff on the trip we have in a couple weeks?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, the only thing I'm gonna bring a couple more 9-inch swim baits.
Okay.
A couple more
a little bit bigger swim baits.
Yeah, a little bit bigger. Try and get a yellowtail on one of them. That's kind of my goal for this trip.
Okay.
Nice big yellowtail on a 9-inch swim bait.
All right.
Yeah.
Might have to borrow one.
Right? I'll have a couple extra.
All right. Sounds good. So I hear that you can bring a lot of fish back. What's that process? Do they freeze it for you? Is it already clean? Like, what's that whole thing about?
Yeah, so each boat has kind of red tape, blue tape, green tape. At the end of the day, they have like these little bins that they put all the fish in. The boat, or the bin, has the tape color of the boat. So they kind of know this is all the fish from that boat, that boat, that boat. At the end of every day, they collect it all. They have up at the resort, they have a full little indoor fish cutting area. Okay. They vacuum seal it for you. Nice thing about packing a little on the lighter side, you get more fish. I was able to take about 35, 40 pounds of fish home.
Okay.
You get a lot more yellowtail than everything, so that's what we were down there to catch and target. But bycatch calico bass, I caught a 20-pound halibut, so I brought him some nice halibut meat.
Some of that in my freezer right now. Okay.
Yeah, so it's all vacuum cut. It's frozen, ready for you to come home. Perfect. The last thing I would recommend, I didn't bring it with me today just because it wasn't on my mind, is a little you can bring a small kill bag, or like the grocery store little square bags with the insulator in the middle.
Okay.
I brought those down there just because they're lighter, easier to pack, and it keeps your fish cold just for the drive home.
And you don't need ice in there. The fish itself.
The fish is already cold to where it stayed frozen the whole flight. On our way back home, I grabbed a bag of ice just to really keep it insulated and cold, just because it was July in San Diego and it's 100 degrees, and just wanted to take total quality control of the fish.
How was the resort itself? Like what was the highlights of it?
The resort's gorgeous. So as you're fishing, you can, even on Google Maps, you look at the resort, you're like, oh, that's Toro's place. It's all turf grass. Doesn't get too hot, the turf, which is nice. They have a fire pit, a full kitchen. They have a bar, and the rooms itself, there's 2 beds per room, so 2 people a room. Shower, hot water, everything you need.
I heard the food's amazing.
I felt bad. I kept telling them, give me less portions or less food, and they were giving me more food, and I couldn't finish it all. But lobster tails.
Wow.
We had yellowtail ceviche one day. We came home.
Sign me up.
Yeah, food was top notch. Definitely going with Toro. It's not just a fishing trip, but it's an actual all-inclusive vacation. If you're not fishing, you're enjoying your time with good people at the resort. Drinks, everything's included. So you want something, you either let Lenny or one of the employees know, and they'll make sure you get it. And that
I heard they have a masseuse. If you're into that, you can get.
I'm not a big massage guy to where I didn't get one, but
Yeah.
I know a couple of the guys I went there, they got a massage all 3 days when they were down there.
Okay.
Just a little bit of tip money for the
Sure.
masseuse at the end of the trip. They basically have 4 boxes and housekeeping, cooks, captains, and I forget what the other box was, but it's just tipping at the end of the trip.
And
Figure.
what was the what percentage rate did you tip?
Yeah, I brought 400 or 500 bucks with me. I think I put about at least $100 in each one. That
Okay.
way, between 12 of us, if we all tip like that, they're getting taken care of.
Sure.
Everyone's happy.
Okay.
I see myself going down there like myself this year, twice a year, maybe once a year. I am going to be going back to where I like them remembering me. So I took care a little
Sure,
bit
sure.
just so they go, oh, he's back.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. He came back from that last trip, and he knew we had this trip coming, and it wasn't quite full yet. And he was like,
Yeah,
no problem. I was like,
I got
if
home
there's
on a
spot
Sunday.
on your trip, I'm there. I'm coming with you guys. So of course, you know.
I got home on
Logan,
Sunday
yeah.
at 5, and then I think I worked that next Monday, the next day, and I booked my trip by 9 o'clock. So it's a place to where I wasn't home for more than 12 hours, and you're like, there's an open spot. I was like, I'll do it.
He's in. Yeah.
It's a trip of a lifetime, and I'm lucky enough to go on it again.
Yeah.
Especially with you guys. It should be.
So we're going to do a video on it too. We've got our media guy Joaquin going with us, so we're going to do a video on that trip. So hopefully we'll be hooking up on fish next time you see us. But thanks for coming by. Thanks for stopping by Tackle Express.
And remember, like that. Oh,
hard.
it's hard. It's hard. I had it in my mind. I was like, oh, this is going to be
Logan do
easy.
it.
Remember to like, subscribe, and ring the bell.
Ring
Okay.
the bell.
Okay. It's like a tongue twister.
I know.
All right, ready?
It's all down here
Okay.
on the.
Remember to like, subscribe, ring that bell notification, and hopefully the next time we see you, we'll be pulling on fish down in Cedros.
Big old fatties.
Remember to like and subscribe and ring the bell. This is hard.
I know.
It's harder than the video. Remember to like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell.
Just ring the bell.
Ring the bell.
Yeah.
And how do I end it after that?
How's the end it?
Remember to like, subscribe, ring the bell. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you soon with some.
Hopefully,
Yeah.
next time we'll see you.
Some big fat yellows.
Yeah. All right.